Hello again, everyone. I'm starting with this today, and there is a special reason. I've had several comments about people saying, I don't know why people don't click on the thumbs up of videos. Perhaps I think the reason may be that those people don't realise the significance of such a simple thing. When you are a YouTuber, get to a certain stage and you can get payment for the videos that you do. And that reimbursement is dependent upon lots of things, one of which is the number of clicks on the thumbs up that you get. Doesn't cost anything. It takes less than a second to do. And they all add up. Someone said to me, this is extraordinary that there are thousands of people who have viewed this particular post of yours, but only a few hundred of clicks. So if you could click, it doesn't cost you anything, hardly cost you any time at all, but it would mean a lot to any creators that you're watching. So that's that out of the way. If you subscribe too, that would be brilliant. So that's done. I hope I've explained, perhaps to some people who didn't realise why it was important that you should click a thumbs up. If you hate it, of course, then don't bother, but you know what I mean. Today, I am embarking on a card for my grandson. He's going to be 14. Now, 14's kind of, he's not a kid anymore. He's got a deep voice. What do you give to a 14-year-old for a birthday card? Last year, as attaining a teenage, I gave him a card with a number on. But this year, I think 14's kind of a bit too old for a chap on a birthday card. So what I thought I would do is this: I would do a big initial. He's called Seb, so I'm going to do a big initial. And I thought, he's really into sport. That's what he loves more than anything. And the latest thing is golf. He plays cricket, he plays rugby, he plays hockey, he skis, he does all sorts. But the latest thing is golf. We bought him for Christmas. Part of his Christmas was some golf shoes. So I found a free download of what looks to me like, a reasonably young golfer. Some of them on the... You can get the golfers look decidedly retired, if you know what I mean, with a slightly rotund. So I cut him out with my silhouette, and I've gone around the edges with an embossing tool, just around over the edges slightly, because I don't like the cut edges from an electronic cutting machine. So he's going to go kind of on there. But I want to do something with the S. The reason I've chosen this particular colour is... his bedroom is teal influence. He had a new bed for Christmas that his mum bought him, double bed, and that's the headboard and everything is all sort of this kind of colour. So I thought, if this card's going to go in his bedroom, I want it to sort of go with. So I have cut 2 on my silhouette. I made the screen that I saw on my computer exactly the same size of the piece of card that it was going to be cut from, so I could see the size. I went up to the computer with this, and I thought, this is the panel, the die that cut this panel. I thought that would look kind of, established in that space. So that's how I decided on the size. 2 layers, and I thought what I'd do, I would emboss, to make it a bit more interesting, dry emboss this top layer and put a bit of, some sort of gilding onto it. Now this is this is where I called in an expert for advice. I went downstairs to show my husband. I said, look, this is for Seb, what do you think? And I took these 2 S's like this and the golfer, and I'd done a little practice here. This is just, what that was cut from. So I embossed it. I dug out a whole bunch of embossing folders, ones that I thought were kind of innocuous. That is the one I used. This is just snow. This is a similar one to that. It's like, I don't know, lizard skin or something. This one is like circuits. This one is just kind of dots. This one is like, you know, I think it's like leather. And this one is a sort of industrial panels. I don't know, look like rust and screws and stuff. But I thought that one here actually kind of looked a bit like golf balls. So I thought I would use that, an old Cuttlebug one. So these can be relegated again for the moment. So I went downstairs to show Phil. And I said, look, what do you think? I said, which of these? One is brass or bronze and the other one is just ice. So I'll put this on here, put it on top. I said, I'm not quite sure, you know, whether the ice just lifts it or that's a bit too dull, or what do you think? And he was looking and he was puzzled. And I said, well, I think this one probably, because it's in keeping with the back of the card. And he said, yes, but he said, I don't know, you're going to fix that onto the S. I said, look, I am not going to fix this onto the S. This is scrap just to try. He's got no imagination, absolutely no imagination. But he agreed with me. He thinks this one probably will just brighten things up a bit. So that is what I'm going to, after all that taradiddle, that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to throw that bit away, pop this S into this embossing folder, and we'll emboss that top layer. Hope it just fits. Oh, look at that. OMG, look at that. My goodness, it's absolutely perfect. Down we go and into the machine. So I thought it looked a bit like golf balls, you know. That's my story anyway, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm going to come out. There we are. There. So that's the S, and that's going to go on top of that one, and this one is going to be highlighted. And what I plan on highlighting with, I remembered I'd got all of these things. Some of these things are going in the boxes, and they're going, you know, they're drying up. This is metallic gilding polish from Cosmic Shimmer. Haven't used them for ages. You know, I really need a bit of a nudge sometimes to keep, you know, remembering to bring out certain products, to use them. I said I've got some Inca Gold in there that's totally dried up. I'm just wondering whether I could grind it up and use the mica with something else. So here's just a piece of mylar to keep the surface a little bit clearer. I've got out this, it's called Pearl Luster, the gilding polish. When you open it, it's got this applicator, this sponge, and to keep it in condition, that I saw on a video somewhere, that you're supposed to just spritz it with water before you put it away to try and just keep it moist, stop it from hardening. So it's all in pretty good condition because I've had a little play with it, as you saw on my samples that I showed to Phil. So now I'm just going to, because we've got a flat surface, I'm hoping that I can get this on here just on the raised bits, not on the, you know, the bits that recessed. So let's just see how we go with this. Isn't it pretty? Shouldn't say it's pretty for a chap, should you really? Let's see. So you just make it like a ski jump, just slide up the side. I ought to get these things out. I think we all got things that get relegated to a storage place, wherever it might be, and we tend not to think about them until we have our attention drawn to them. It's funny, like you learn a new word or something and suddenly you hear it all the time, don't you? Right, there's my S, all highlighted. Pop that, I'll give that a quick spritz before I put it back, actually. Okay, back in there and lid on. Right, now, looking at this, I was thinking to myself that the back looks a little just plain, you know, for a chap. So I had a look through some background stamps and I came across this one. this is one of Lou Collins's, I don't know what set or series or whatever it was from, but it's just like, you know, marble or crazed or whatever. And I thought if I do that in a sort of pale, sort of skyish colour, it will just, you know, add a little bit of interest. So let's get out a stamping platform, pop this in. I wonder how this is going to fit, where the magnets could go. It's obviously going to fit British sizes, but this card base that I've got is in inches. It's a 5x7 card. Okay, let me just get some corners on here, perhaps. Okay. What I thought I would do, I looked through my colour chart, and the palest thing I could find that would go. I wondered about tumbled glass, but of course, my old friend speckled egg is what's going to go with this tealy sort of colour. This is a sort of Uncharted Mariner type shade, isn't it? Is that going onto those lines? So I've got my stamp there, and I'm just going to do it very lightly. Just see what happens. Just I don't want it to be, you know, in your face. I can always do a second time if it's not deep enough, but let's just have a look and see. Okay, let's have a look at this. Keep checking all the time. Right, am I the right way up or am I upside down? It's not bad actually, is it? Just like that. I think that's okay. Let's take this out. I'll clean that up presently. I would like to have a happy birthday on there. And this was from yesterday, so let's just try one of these and see if we can fit this in somewhere. Got a bit of scrap here. I think we're going to go with black because, oh, that's grey. Because of the silhouette is black. Let's try. Oops. This is an old Hero Arts stamp. Is that short? I thought the P was a bit short and the R was a bit short, but it is a bit short, so it's fine. I wondered if I'd missed a bit, but I haven't. So that needs to be cut out. What have we got here? Anything handy? Would that fit? That would do exactly. Let's have that one. Right. Let's get a mat. Chop a bit off this. Right, here's my sentiment. Putting that back. I've got magnets at the back here with all sorts of odds and ends on. Do you know, that looks a slightly different colour, does it? Perhaps it's not, perhaps it's just the light. Happy birthday, where's the card base? I think that's going to do. So let's just do a bit of assembly. And this has got to go onto there. I think doing this narrow offset just makes up for the fact that the edge isn't nicely rounded like you get with a die cut. So, which is the right? No, that's the wrong way up. That's the right way up. Let's pop this directly onto that background. I'm looking down here for the parallel to make sure it's in, and here, to make sure that the orientation is correct. Okay, we're getting there. Now we need to put him on. Now I think what I'll do is put a little bit of foam tape under his body here, because there's, you know, a fair bit of thickness there. There's 2 thicknesses plus the embossing. So he is slightly raised. So I can stick that and this. Let's have him so that we've got the head of the club on the S. And his feet just on there. I think that's okay. So we'll put a little bit. I've got some really thin foam tape, which is probably going to be ideal for that. By thin, I mean not very deep. This is it. It's the thinnest that I've got. I don't know where it came from. Look, can you see? It's frightfully thin, but it's probably just about right for what I need. So some paste tape rather is just so thick. It I just don't like it. About there, I think that'll do. Is there enough behind him? Just a bit, just there, I think. It was just there. Let's just see. Up a bit. That'll do. Okay, glue on the rest, and then we can, oops, this is the important bit, just this head, the club head. He broke one of his drivers. The head came right off. But he is quite sporty, and I think he'll do really well. His father did play golf. I don't know whether he still does, but his mum's partner is a keen golfer, so he's been to play with him, which is great. Try and get the club straight. That's better. There we are. Now, I'm wondering about this, whether it needs a bit of a surround of some description. I think up there. I wonder if a bit of the turquoise, the teal rather, would be appropriate. Right, where's my long bladed scissors? I didn't really want to glue it down, because in case I do it wrong, but if I just put a bit of glue stick on there, it might just be sufficient to hold it still while I try and cut this long side. Right. Let's see what we think. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay, I'll stick that on properly with proper glue. Glue stick. I mean, every glue's got its own purpose, hasn't it, really? So okay. I'm just going to go around the edges with my embossing tool just to round them over. Right, now that I can do the same with that as I did with the golfer. Put a little bit of foam tape on each end, and it should bridge the S quite nicely. Let's just see if that's okay. I think that's fine. Okay, we'll stick this down. I really don't know where I got that. I ought to try and get some more, because a really narrow one is really, really useful. So I'm just going to keep this just about within this line of the background stamp. And I think that's okay. I'm going to stick that down. I think we're okay. I'm not putting extra, even though it's thin, I'm not putting an extra bit of foam tape on this layer, because I don't want it to be too fat to go through the mail. I'm going to have to post this before we go on holiday on Thursday, because his birthday's just when we come back. Right. S for Sebastian. Hope that's suitable for a 14-year-old. So we are done. Birthday card for a 14-year-old. Hope he likes it. He certainly likes his golf. So thank you so much for watching, and do come back and see me very soon.